Welcome back to No Man's Sky, everyone. Jason here, and today I'm going to show you how to master the technology in No Man's Sky. There are a few secrets you need to know, a few secret tips for technology you need to know, so let's jump into it. So there are a couple of changes with the Beyond update, but if you kind of knew the premises behind technology before, they're still pretty much there. There's just a couple differences in the Beyond update. So let's go into our menu. Let's go to the multi-tool, because that's the easiest one to see the differences on. Now I have an S-Class multi-tool with 24 slots. So I have the most room you can get. 24 slots is the most right now as of the first patch on the Beyond update. So you want to get 24, that way you have enough room to put everything you want in here. Now you want that because with anything less than 24, there might be some gaps, some holes in here. And you want as much to stay together as possible, and I'll show you why. So you see how my analysis visor right over here, it has a white box over it? If you don't have the same technologies together, they will just be plain. So let me show you what I mean by that. You could pick up any technology and move it, which is a great thing. They added that in the Beyond update. So once you've placed a technology, you say, oh, I didn't want it there. This analysis visor is not really good there. I want to move it over here. You press X or box square if you're on PlayStation 4, or you press X on Xbox One, and then pop it down over there. So you're like, okay, yeah, you know what? It's better over there. The problem is now you see there's no white line around it. There's no highlighted box around it. So what does that mean? Well, it means that there's something wrong. You're not getting a bonus like you should be, okay? And what do I mean by bonus? Well, everything has stats on it. So like this quantum processor, it's an S-Class analysis visor upgrade. It's an upgrade you put next to your analysis visor. And if you do, you get the white box around it, which is awesome. Now, this one specific upgrade gives me plus 32% scan radius, plus 9,203% flora analysis reward, which is a long, fancy way of saying you get more money every time you scan a plant, and then a fauna analysis reward of 7,290%. That's just saying, hey, look, when you scan a plant or you scan an animal, we will give you a higher percentage. We'll give you more units, more money for scanning those things. And that's what you want, right? And so that'll give you a bonus already. But if you place it next to the same technologies, the same similar upgrades, it will give you an even better bonus. So, like, say, hey, I want to move this one over here. Well, now my scan is going to be lower, and I'll show you that why. Look over here in the scanner range right here. These numbers are really important, so pay attention to them. Right now, 1,290, that's my scanner range. But if I move this scanner upgrade over next to all its buddies, look at that. Now it's 1,446. I didn't do anything. I didn't add another bonus. I just put it next to it. That's what you need to do. Put them together, and the more sides that are touching, the bigger the increase. So if I were to put it all in a straight line, it would not be as big of an upgrade as if they were in squares. So let me show you why. I'm going to move all this over, and I'm dealing with just one square, so bear with me, you guys. So let's say, I want to put all these S's in a straight line. I'm at 14, right over here in this corner right here. 1,446. But I want to put it in a straight line, because it looks better that way, right? I didn't get rid of an upgrade, and they're all still touching, but now it's at 1358. So even though there's touching, I just literally moved it one square over. I lost almost 100 scanner range. It's because they need to be in squares, okay? And the higher the upgrades that are touching more than one side, the better the bonus. So if I move my B form over here, there you go. Boom. 1448. So you want to make sure the highest ones you can. Oh, actually, you know what? I need to move that over. Because look at, and that's what you need to do. Pay attention to it, because that's gives me 2 more than I had the last time. So let's move this up here. Huh. That's different. Let's move this over here. 1490. Look at that big square. That's what you want to do. So if that's what you want to do, you want to try to get all the stuff in the same, as much as you can. I mean, you're not going to be able to get it all together because there's just limited space. And I mean, if you want, depending on how much you want, like if I got rid of my scatter blaster, I could probably really emphasize all this stuff together. And I might actually do that. But I also need to put in my terrain manipulator. That's what I got rid of to make this whole. So pick and choose what technologies you want to use. I use my scanner a lot. You make tons of money that way. I mean, every time I scan a plant or an animal, I'm making hundreds of thousands of units. That's where you want to be. So that's important to me anyway. If you want to focus on your damage potential, you want to, you know, sort out all of your damage, all of your weapon modules to be in a big square as well, okay? So focus in on that. And this is not just for the multi-tool. This is for everything. Do the Starship, okay? Look at my Starship right here. We'll do hyperdrive, okay? So my hyperdrive range right now is 2,287. And so let's just move one of these modules. I'll move this one from there to there, so it's a straight line. Now it's 2,232 compared to 287. So what was that? 55? I got 55 extra light years just from moving it from one spot to another. That's it. I didn't have to add anything. I didn't have to upgrade anything. I just placed it in the optimum place for it to be. That's where you got to be. And because now with the Beyond Update, you can move everything. Like, I mean, you could literally move your launch thruster if you wanted to over here. Done. But you want to try to place them, especially with Starships. This is really important because look at this, like this huge gap right here. Why would you want to put anything in there? Because you can't put as many upgrades as you want in there. Like, I wouldn't put my pulse engine up there because I have 3 upgrades next to it. I would only be able to put 1 upgrade next to it, so it's not the best possible setup. So you want to maximize all the space you can, okay? Try to make it as big squares as possible. Alright? That is the key to technology in your exosuit. And it's the same thing for your regular suit, like your suit upgrades. If you're in here and you want to try to do it, make the big squares, okay? And don't forget that you can have 3 purchasable upgrades and as many blueprints as you want. So what I mean by that is, like right here with my rockets, my jetpack, I have 5 upgrades in here, and that's crazy, right? Well, I have 3 of the S-Class modules that I bought, the upgrades I bought, and then I have the 2 blueprints that I can make from scratch. Okay? That's what you want to do. Put them on, and I put them all together in a square. There might be a better way to do this. Let me see. The only bad thing is with the exosuit, you can't really see any changes. You have to test it. It's a little bit harder with your exosuit because you're going to have to test it, like your jetpack. This is for your movement, so your sprint distance is 40% more. Plus, it's going to get a bonus if it's next to the similar upgrades. So the way you're going to have to test it out is go run and see how long you can run before you run out of energy. And then change it up and do it again. And change it up and do it again. And see what setup makes it easier to run or makes you run the longest. Okay? It's a little bit harder, but I mean, that's going to be with your exosuit technology. But for your Starship, you have your stats right over here. This is the easiest one to do, so there's no excuse not to do your Starship and your multi-tool. Because they tell you everything right here, okay? So, hey, if you're trying to maximize your hyperdrive, move stuff around and make sure your hyperdrive is the best possible position. If you're trying to do your shields, make sure your shields is your best possible position. And just move stuff around. Try to put the similar stuff together and make squares. Biggest thing I could tell you guys. So, hopefully I kind of explained that, because I've had a lot of questions on why is it important to make squares and not straight lines. It's all highlighted. That's the reason. Yes, it doesn't make that much of a difference, but if you're trying to eke out even, the most you can, 50 extra light years, and all I did was move it from a straight line into a square. That's all I had to do. Easy enough to do. You can even check it to make sure it's working. So if you look at it and you say, hey, that's not as high as I want it to be, move some stuff around. You might be able to position it to where you get an extra, squeeze out an extra 100 light years in your hyperdrive range. So hopefully you guys liked this explanation, and hopefully it was in depth enough for you. If you did, hit that like button for me, and if you want to see more, subscribe to the channel. I'm uploading episodes all the time, and I will see you guys in the next one.